Day moving along with Lou of Deja Vu. Again, I think that is so cool that your name rhymes with your business. Was that the intention when you opened up Deja Vu?
No, and I didn't even come up with the name.
Who did?
My sister Mary came up with the name.
Okay.
We were passing around names, and she came up with that, and I liked it immediately, and went online to make sure no one else had it, so I could get my tax ID, and so that's how it got longer.
So, and it's Deja Vu Furniture.
And accessories.
And accessories,
Yes.
because I think there's more accessories than furniture.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Furniture is getting harder to get. Clinton has kind of become a barren of no furniture stores. I think
Yeah.
we're left with one.
You're probably right, yeah.
So I do still get furniture in, but then it usually goes right back out the door. But plenty of other things in the store, so it really hasn't affected the store too much. Besides, we have more decorations in the store, and we have more clothes in the store, which are all accessories.
We've had you in the program before, but I always find it interesting to find out how this actually did get started. You've been in business for a while now. How did it come about for you?
So, let's see if I can do a short version. We had owned the business, and or the building, I take it.
Okay.
And it was empty, and I wanted to do something with the building. And I have a degree in interior design, and that was always a problem. People didn't ever know what to do with their leftovers. And I had seen in bigger cities consignment stores with furniture and decorations, and some had clothes and other things in it too. And I thought, Clinton needs one of those. And I'm right, because, after I opened, there's other big box stores that do this on a regular basis that came to Clinton. So I don't know if it's because I made waves in the economy here in town, but multiple ones opened up after I was here. So anyway, I opened up my store, and of course, you probably heard the story about my husband kept saying no, that I couldn't do it, and I just went on about my business and opened the store. And now he says he doesn't remember that. He's like, oh no, I've always been supportive. So yeah, he's on board with it now. I love him.
So you've always been at that location?
Yes, I have been at that location.
How'd you end up getting the building?
We used to have rental properties.
Okay.
We used to have like 50 rental properties in town. We had a lot.
Yeah.
And the bank contacted us at one point, wanted to know if we were interested in buying the building. And because they had liked that we were maintaining older properties and making them look better. And so we fell into it that way.
So now that you've got this, have you cut back on some of your other properties then?
Oh yeah, this is my last property.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm getting too old to have that many properties. So over the years, we've just sold them all off,
Again,
So-
busy with Lou of
so
Deja
just
Vu.
one.
Yeah. So what are your hours in days? When can people pop in?
So and that has changed the last couple of years. Our hours have gotten longer, and we are now open 7 days a week. So Monday through Friday, we're open 9 until 6, Saturday 9 until 4, and then Sundays we're open from 11 until 4.
So open on Sundays. And a lot of times people just, around Thanksgiving time, they decide they're going to open up on Sundays. Now.
Right. And I had done that for years. I had opened up between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I had a mentor seek me out at one point, and he's like, what are you doing? You need to open on Sundays. And I had said to him, I said, well, I'm there anyway. I'm doing paperwork. I said, but if I open, then I won't get my paperwork done. And he's like, that's not the point. You need to open on Sundays. So I'm open on Sundays, and now I don't get my paperwork done. So we were both right.
Yeah. So, I know you've talked about this before, but you mentioned mentor.
Yes.
You had a mentor.
I have a mentor.
Okay, talk about him. Or her.
So Neil is fascinating. And if you know Neil, you love Neil. And this last year, he just got the National Award for Retail Federation Small Business Person of the Year because he likes to help small businesses. So I have met Neil a few times and maybe a little intimidated, but he was always nice and talked to me, and I talked back. And one day, it was in November. It was the first Saturday in November, just a few years back. And it was crazy in the store, and I had all this stuff to do, and my husband's like, hey, we got to go. We've got that event tonight for him. He's in this club and this big event that we're supposed to do. And so, okay, I'll sneak around the back so no one will see me so I can get out of the store. So I sneak around the back, and I get to the front, and a customer's walking out, and her hands are full, and I'm like, oh, thank you, and gosh, you got a lot. And I'm talking to her. Out the corner of my eye, I see Neil. But I'm so starstruck, and I'm not a starstruck person. I look down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got Nort's royalty standing in front of my store. And he just laughed at me, and he's like, Lou, just call me Neil.
So who is this Neil guy? Where's he from? How did he rise up to this height?
So Neil has two stores, two consignment stores, and I believe he lives in Connecticut, and then his stores are like right across the border in a different town. And that part confuses me. But anyway, he lobbies Congress and everything on our behalf. So Neil has done very well with his retail businesses. And he has one that's just a furniture store and one that's just little kids' clothes. And his wife started that about 20 years ago. Well, he's always been in retail. His dad was a pharmacist and owned a pharmacy. So he actually at one point started lobbying Congress on the behalf of small businesses. And he's done phenomenal with it. Like, with everything going on in the economy right now, I talk to him like twice a week.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. a lot.
Does he give you, when you visit with him and you say you talk to him twice a week, is it kind of like a pep talk for you?
Well, it's kind of like, and he's not just talking to me, it's a group talk, so there's multiple people. So there is multiple people.
Okay.
But he's also got a team, so I can talk to them whenever I want. Like, I have all their phone numbers, and we'll message back and forth, and they'll give me ideas, and they'll keep me on track. Like, right now, they're trying to keep me on track to keep my back room clean, because it's a horrid mess. They're like, you need to be more organized. And I'm like, but you guys have me open on Sundays. I don't have time. So they just help you. And like, if you have questions about hiring or let's do this event, what can we do to make it better? Mm-hmm. I know like right now, so, and a lot of people don't know this, my daughter has been doing all the ads for the Consignment Girl. And don't they look fantastic?
Yes, I've got one right over here somewhere.
They are so impressive. They have given us the tools that she can do that in just minutes instead of taking hours per business.
So we got to get you to come in and do some commercials.
Right. If we
need
can
to
just
have
get the
you do
commercials.
that.
I should have my daughter write me a commercial.
Well, do that, and then you can come in, or your granddaughter can come in and record, because she does a nice job with the commercials.
Yeah, she's very adult-like for an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
soon to be 9.
Yeah, well, there you go.
We can't forget her birthday in a couple of weeks.
I know you've brought her in before on Ladies' Day, haven't you? when...
She's come in before and sat in the background.
Yeah, because, you usually have been later in the day.
Yeah.
You've been all over the board.
I have been all over the board. It's whatever you guys have free.
That's right, or whenever you can get free. You don't have paperwork to do.
Right.
More with Lou. We got coming up a break for the weather here on Ladies' Day.
9 out of 10 individuals who struggle with nicotine, alcohol, or other drug addictions started using these substances before turning 18. Young people who regularly receive information about the dangers of drugs and alcohol from their parents are up to 50% less likely to engage in substance use compared to those who don't receive such guidance. As a parent, you hold the greatest influence over your child's choices. Start the conversation early and keep it going. Talk. We hear you. This message is brought to you by the Gateway Impact Coalition.
Have we missed you? We're Kramer Construction of Clinton, and we're in your neighborhood, helping one of your neighbors with a new roof, siding, deck, doors, windows, and remodeling. We are a family-owned business. Our office is located at 2020 Comanche Avenue, have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau for the last 7 years, and are CertainTeed certified. Does your home need a makeover? Then call Kramer Construction at 563-613-3437 for a free estimate.
It's time now on KOS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Prairie Lumber.
A weather impact alert is in place for your Friday, especially as we get into the afternoon, where we're expecting strong winds, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Mostly sunny skies will push temperatures into the low 60s this afternoon. Those temperatures will drop into the mid-20s tonight as gusty winds continue. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have sunny skies and a temperature of 45. Winds are out of the southwest at 15 miles an hour. This weather report on KOS has been brought to you by Prairie Lumber.
Let your new kitchen or bath tell a story and be an inspiration for years to come with craft-made cabinets from Prairie Lumber in Fulton. Craft-made Cabinetry offers a multitude of customizable options for your project. Create your dream kitchen or bath today with the help of craft-made cabinets. Stop by Prairie Lumber at 912 2nd Street in Fulton and make your dream kitchen or bath a reality. Are you a downtown business or resident who is struggling with reliable internet options? Miles Communications is now available in the immediate downtown Clinton area. Get rid of the pricey and lengthy contracts of your current provider. Miles Communications offers affordable internet, phone, and voice-over IP phone systems, as well as TV options with no contracts. Call today at 563-682-7111. Email info@milestelephone.com or check out their website at milescommunicationsco.com. Miles Communications, bringing a better internet service to the area and keeping you connected.
Visiting now with Lou of DeJa Vu on our Ladies' Day program. I'm always confused by how consignment actually works. How does that play out?
So there are actually two types of consignment. I am a traditional consignment store. So people will bring their items into me. I'll go through them. I'll mark them. I'll put them out. When they sell, they get a percentage of what they've sold for. So it is up to me to determine, or my staff, to determine what goes on the floor. So, we go through things and so we do clothes and people will bring in, a couple medium boxes of clothes. We're probably not going to put them all out. One, because I have the correct lighting in the store, so I can really see. We've got nice bright lights, so we can see if there's something wrong with the item. When people are going through their items and say they're at home in the bedroom lighting is not bright. And they go through it and they may think that it's perfect and they'll put it in the box, but then they bring it to me and, we may find that there's a stain on it or a spot on it or something to that extent. We don't want that. We want the clothes, we want the stuff to look perfect. And if it's not, say we missed something, I've had people bring me up, say a t-shirt, and they're like, oh my gosh, did you see on the back of this, there's this tiny little hole? And no, we did not. Otherwise, it never would have went out. Mm-hmm. So we're very particular about what we do. So we do not give anything back. I'm usually about 50 boxes behind putting stuff out on the floor. So there is a demand for what I do. But that being said, if I go through all the items with you just to look at them and justify why or why not I'm taking it, that's going to be a bigger pile than 50 boxes behind. I don't have that type of time. My staff does not have that type of time. So what I tell my consigners is, bring me what you don't want. I'm going to go through it. I will get rid of in whatever manner the item deserves. It's not going back to you.
So now, something is there for like 30 days, 60 days. How does that work? I mean, do you mark down? How's that go?
Correct. So we are in a 90-day system, and we get marked down 3 times. So by the time it gets down to that third markdown, it's 75% off. Okay. But we want it gone. We only want to touch, like with any retail store, not just mine, any retail store, you only want to touch that item so many times. If you continue to touch that item, that's time and money. So we want it to go way before the 90 days is up. We want it to go right away. So we've only touched it once or twice. We don't want to have to keep putting it back on the rack because someone didn't want it or there is something wrong with it, and that's why we're very particular about what goes out.
You have such a wide variety. You were mentioning clothing, but when I go in there, I see like toys and games and different things like that. You're not an antique shop, but it almost kind of gives that sort of a feel.
Yeah, because we do. I do take antiques and I do take older items. I take vintage items. You know, I had someone bring up to me and they're like, where did these glasses come from? How old are they? And I said, well, they're Art Deco, I said, which puts them in the 1920s. So there you've got an item that's 100 years old, which is considered an antique. Anything that's not an antique at 100 years old is vintage or older or something to that extent. Mid-century modern. I can usually tell you what generation it came from. However, we do bring in new toys because people will ask for toys, and the toys that come in, the pieces aren't always there, that are not always meeting our standards, but I can still sell them. So.
We've got more to talk about, but you got a great song picked out. Why don't you go ahead and introduce that for us?
Oh, Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World. 3 channels.
Oh, okay.
And they went off at 10:30 at night?
Or midnight or
something like that, yeah.
Fireworks and the national anthem and all that other good stuff.
And then a target on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. So, wine, bread, dip mixes, honey, how'd you get started into that?
Oh, goodness. Well, like the bread mixes and the sweet dips and all that, they came to me and asked if they could be in the store. And the honey was the same way. The wine is something that I sought out. Someone had come to me and asked me if I would carry it. I did not choose to go with them. Not that I don't think that their wine was good. Their wine is good. But too much competition when everyone in town is carrying them. And I had been thinking about it before they even came to me. And my thought came down to, if I'm going to do this, I should do this now. So it's been 2 years. And I want to do something that no one else in town has. So I had found a couple of wineries over the years that I particularly enjoyed and my husband particularly enjoyed. So we contacted them and asked them if they would be interested in being in our location, and they were.
So how is that going over, the wine and the dips and the breads and things like that?
They're all going great. Everyone, of course, we just had Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve and all that. So, and then we have Valentine's Day. So yeah, the wines and everything were going over great. The dips were going over great. Honey, I've only had maybe 6 weeks. But it's going really good too.
Okay.
So people seem to like it. It's that little extra item. We all seem to like honey. Most of us know someone that likes wine. So if they come in looking for a gift, but they know they like wine, I can kind of let them know, do they like red or white? Do they like sweet or dry? And push them in the right direction. They would probably prefer this over this.
Oh, okay.
Type thing.
So do you get people who come in, either to consign or to look over the store and they go, what? I didn't know you had this as well.
Right. And that does happen all the time. But I've got 3,000 consigners.
Oh my goodness. What?
So I've got
no wonder
a
you
lot
can't
of,
get your paperwork done.
Right. That's a lot of people. And I guess it does help. We got a new POS system this last year, so it slowed us down for a while, but it is helping us. It's giving us more avenues to work with. We have a rewards program now, and everyone's loving the rewards program. And once we get them in for the rewards program, the computer system just takes care of the rest. Thank goodness.
3,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So not everyone brings in every week. Sometimes they only bring in, once a month or maybe once or twice a year.
Okay.
But the majority of them come back. There's a few that, moved across country. They don't necessarily come back. But I did have a stewardess that lived on the East Coast, and she would come back 4 times a year, and she'd always fill her suitcase. Because she was coming back to see her parents. Well, now both of the parents have passed away, so she's not coming here anymore. But I always loved to see her walk in because she was on the East Coast, and she would bring us interesting things that maybe hadn't made it to Iowa yet.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And you know them all by name?
No, I don't. I know a lot of them, and some days I can get everyone's name, and other days I'm just like, can you remind me your name?
Yeah.
And then I'll say something like, You're right. You're very smart today, or I was testing you and you passed.
We got about a minute or two left in the program. Again, thanks so much for coming in. Consignment Crawl is coming up. Tell us about that.
Okay, the first weekend in April is the Consignment Crawl. We've got 35 businesses in Clinton, in the downtown, Main Avenue. There's a few over in Fulton, a couple on the West End even for this event. 3 days. You know, when we started out, it was 1 day. Now we're up to 3 days for the Consignment Crawl. So stop in and get a flyer, like us on Facebook. My daughter has made out wonderful ads for each one of the businesses participating. They're so cute. Most of them, we have their pictures in the bottom corner with a picture of their building. There was one or two that we have just not been able to get their picture, but they're a really fun ad.
My wife always catches your podcast. How did that come about?
Oh, where we go around and we do lives?
Yes. Is it Saturday that you normally do that? Or?
Oh, the Saturday lives, yes. So
Yes.
Saturday, I started that way back in COVID, and I used to pre-tape them, but then it would take me hours because I'd flub up, and I'd go back and I'd re-record like 4 or 5 times, and then it was like, I don't have time for this. So now I just, kind of walk through it, and sometimes I'll be like, no, that's not right, or gosh, the words aren't coming out right, but I just keep going. I don't have time to. You get me all natural.
Is it a podcast, or what is it called?
It's not a podcast.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a podcast is more like you and I sitting and talking,
Okay.
and at the same time. So it's just my Saturday morning video that I do on Facebook, and it's anywhere
There you
from it's usually somewhere around 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's a little bit earlier than that. Every once in a while, I'm late. Maybe Wicket has me headed in a different direction or won't stop playing. So
Thank you for coming in.
thank you.
At Addington Place of Clinton, they're doing their part to make the lifestyle you and your loved one already know and love even better. Working alongside Arvum Senior Living, Addington Place is bringing steady leadership, decades of experience, and financial strength, and the same passion for building a life and legacy right here in Clinton. Visit AddingtonPlaceOfClinton.com. Schedule a tour to learn even more. Call 243-6870. Addington Place of Clinton. Assisted living and memory care, 1701 13th Avenue North.
You can trust Monks for your complete auto maintenance, from oil changes, brakes and transmissions to steering, suspension, and AC. Monks also sells tires, provides 24-hour towing, repairs on foreign and domestic vehicles, and does unlocks. For all your auto repairs, see Monks Auto Repair and Alignment Center on North 2nd Street next to Superwash in Clinton.
And now from the KROS Newsroom, here is Sydney Ellen.
It's Friday, February 28th, and here are your local news headlines. A man has died as he fell through the ice and drowned while ice fishing on a rural Clinton County pond. On Wednesday afternoon, the sheriff's office said they received a 911 call from someone who had driven past the pond earlier in the day and saw a man out ice fishing. And when they drove past later, they saw his gear was still on the ice, but they didn't see him, prompting them to call 911. Officials with the Clinton County Sheriff's Office, Welton Fire Department, and DeWitt Fire Department responded to the pond off 180th Street in Delmar around 2 p.m. on Wednesday, February. First responders found the man unresponsive in a small area of open water around 100 feet from the shore. The sheriff's office said he appeared to have fallen through the ice. DFD deployed an ice rescue team comprised of ice rescue flotation suits and additional equipment to reach the victim. He was removed from the pond and declared dead at the scene. The Clinton County Sheriff's Office has not released the man's identity, and the incident remains under investigation by the Sheriff's Office and the county medical examiner. Due to work being done by the water company, the northbound lanes of Bluff Boulevard between 5th Avenue South and South 9th Street will be closed until Monday, March 3rd. Please follow the posted detour down 5th Avenue South to South 5th Street, up to 2nd Avenue South, and then back to Bluff Boulevard. If you have any questions regarding this lane closure, please contact Iowa American Water Company at 563-242-9102. Iowa Secretary of Agriculture Mike Negg says he's encouraged by the announcement